Thanks for stopping by. I'd like to preface this video by saying it is not a knitting tutorial, but a means to have something playing in the background while you work on your own knitting project. If you're like me and really enjoy watching videos while you work, sometimes you find that the content you like to watch is very visually engaging and you're several hours in and haven't gotten nearly as far along in your project as you would have liked to. So that's where I come in. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. We are continuing on with the Jolie Mimi Cardigan by Wool and the Gang. And as you saw in the thumbnail, it's just this little sliver of some knitting. That's actually from the first panel, but I thought, why not recycle the thumbnail, because we're kind of in that same spot again where we're not quite to the end, we're not really halfway there yet, and I still have a lot of knitting to do. So the description box does have a link to the pattern if you're interested in purchasing the kit yourself. By all means, it is knit flat. It is intermediate level, I believe they classify it as. It's using cotton. And there are several sizes available, I believe. It's up to a women's size 22 or 24, one of the two, US women's. And we're gonna just continue on. I think this is video 13 or 14 of this series. And it's a playlist. So if you want, just go to my main channel. If you found this through like some other means and not directly through the Paws and Pearls channel page, there is a playlist. So every time I work on this, you'll see it in the playlist till I finish it. And I was pulling, you see this rat's nest here? This isn't too bad, but I had to start out double-stranded and then cut the yarn that I wasn't going to use anymore. And I thought it would be smart to cut from the outside because the first panel I worked on, I was trying to pull from the middle and I forced it. So I ended up making a big knot in the middle. So every time I'd pull, it would just snag on something in the inside. And I thought, okay, well, the next time I do this, I should change it up and go from the outside. But it's still not doing what I want it to do. So I think what I'm going to do now is try to find my end piece that I'm not using and tuck it back in the middle as best as I can. And that's what I probably should have done in the first place, which I did not. So right now it's just going to be me talking and fixing this mess I made. But I hope you guys are having a good day. It's the thing about where I live is that, and it's the ongoing joke, it's like every time the weather is moderately nice, like warm and sunny, or just sunny, you just want to be outside, it's always like the worst wind. Like the windiest day is always the sunniest day. And it was kind of like that today. And it always kind of aggravates me because it's one of the reasons why, like reason 122 why I wish I was back in the Pacific Northwest, because it's not windy like this. Of course, if you're on the beach, sure, but if you're just minding your own business, walking around town, like you don't have to worry about like some dust particles poking you in the eye because they're just flurrying around everywhere. And it's not quite spring yet where I am, because even some people further south of me got some snow, just a flurry, but it hailed on Tuesday night, I think, or was it Monday? It's either Monday or Tuesday night we got some hail, but we've had some thunderstorms the last couple nights. And it's just like, can we just get a break, Mother Nature? Are we not suffering enough? Do we really need some inclement weather too? Like, come on. So I've been pretty much inside. I wish I had a laptop. My work computer is a desktop And I really wish I had a laptop so I could just, I don't even have like a real porch or anything, or like a back deck, but to be able just to sit outside and work just a little bit. Like, I'm not an outdoorsy person, but I don't have a window in my office at my job. And when I did at my previous job, I really liked having a window. Well, we actually went over, they reconstructed the office spaces, so I lost my window when that happened, but for a good year and a half, I had a window, and oh, having the sun on my back was, I was like a cat. Like, I was just like, ooh, I could just curl up and take a nap right here. But it was nice. It was so nice. And I don't have that. And even in my living room area where my desk is now, I'm not next to the window. My partner's actually next to the window, and I get like the light, but it's not direct light. So just to be out with a little bit of sun is good for you, but to be able to work like that would be nice. Even one of our, wow, I did not even pull this much of that center out, so it's just been doing its thing this whole time, which is a little alarming because I've just been pulling from the outside, but the center seems to want to be part of the club and join in. But one of my coworkers, we had a Zoom meeting. Well, we have a Zoom meeting every morning, and she has a laptop, and I could hear, I think it was either yesterday or it was today, I could hear birds chirping, so I knew she was outside because she has a laptop, and she was enjoying the morning weather. And I was like, oh, I wanted to say, like, hey, I could hear birds. Are you outside? But it was like Captain Obvious here. We hardly ever do, like, the webcam option. And I like that because it's not flattering. And then, too, it's like, I don't want, like, if I'm looking at the webcam, like, I am looking at you, but the monitor's like over here. And when I had my cell phone and I was using my cell phone for my videos, I was always looking like over this way because I was focused on the monitor of the image and not where the camera was actually coming from. And it's the same thing with the webcams. Like, mine is not affixed to my monitor of my computer, so depending on where I move it, it's either blocking me from seeing my screen, because if it's like right here, then I'm looking right at it, but the screen is like back here and here's the camera, so I can't even see the screen. Or it's like off to the side, so you're only going to be looking at the side of my head while I am looking at you, who I think I'm looking at, and talking to my monitor and not talking to the webcam where I would have been giving you eye contact. So it's like, it's awkward. I just don't like it. Never have. I've had like meetings when I was in grad school with my professors with webcams. I've had meetings with my classmates. I've had job interviews. Those I put a little more effort into making sure that I am looking at the webcam, but lighting, it's an old webcam. It's from like 2007. And it still works. It's a good Logitech camera, but my phone camera is so much better than it. This camera is 50, 100,000 times better, and it's just kind of lame. Something about webcams, they're just not that good. Don't know why. You think all this time they would improve them. They're still just a tad not as great as like a cell phone camera or even like a DSLR. But yes, more of point of the story is I want to be by a window. If I'm going to be working from home, who knows how much longer this is going to be. It would be nice. It would be nice. But yes, okay. Now that I got something to work with here, I tucked the loose bit back into the little donut bit in this little hole here. So hopefully it'll stay put for a little longer. It's definitely so much easier now just to pull from the outside because that string isn't there anymore. And then the next ball, since I don't have to work double anymore for this piece, I can pull from the outside straight out. Outside outright? From the beginning, yes. From the get-go. Phrases. Oh my gosh. My partner is the worst at phrases. So anytime they're talking on their mic to like friends online, they'll say something that's not quite right, and I always end up just, correcting them so they know how to say the phrase correctly. It's funny. And here we are. I had to put a pillow behind me because I'm sitting for more hours a day than I normally. I mean, I'm pretty sedentary, but this is getting ridiculous. So my back is just like, what are you doing? Because I'm hurting. So I've been trying to take breaks more than for my mental health. I think I have a good reason to, because I'm just so out of it right now. But I've been lying down. I've been stretching. I've been standing with my cats. Koji's pretty heavy though, so it's actually not doing anything for me. Helpful. It's not being whatever. It's not helping me. Standing with a 15-pound cat in my hands like a newborn baby and rocking him around and stuff because he's heavy, and that weight distribution is not helping. But he does like to cuddle and I don't mind. So I hold him for a little bit. So I'm standing with him, lying down on the couch. Sometimes if I time my lunch right, I can take a nap during my break and lie down in the bed. But I haven't been taking naps. This week has just been crazy with my sleep schedule, so I've been taking nap middle of the day. Well, not middle of the day, right after work. So 5:30, 6 o'clock I'll take a nap, but then I won't wake up until 9 or 10, which isn't good because then I'll stay up until about 5. And the other day I stayed up really late and I didn't go to bed at all. And I had to wash my hair and redo my twisties, so I just stayed up and did all that and didn't go to bed. And my body was like, stop it, stop it. But I guess, not related, but good news is that a friend I made when I was at my conference in November, she lives in the same state, different city, but we were supposed to get together in January or February. She got caught up in some stuff, so she made a rain check, and I was like, sure, let me know whenever. And I was going to take vacation last week, but all of the stuff going on, there's really nowhere I can go, and I'm already in the house now, so it's not really going to be, it'll be fun to not have to do work, but the fact that everything is so critical at this point that I don't think it would be a good idea to take any time off right now until I know what's happening, or at least have a little bit more of an idea, and then I might feel safer. But she was like, hey, do you want to just do Zoom or Google Hangouts and have lunch, virtual lunch or coffee or something together? And I was like, sure. So next week on Thursday, we're gonna have our little hangout and just catch up, see what's going on, and just chat a little bit. So that'll be nice. a different kind of meeting, one that I actually am looking forward to, because all these other Zoom meetings are just becoming a pain. If you're working and you're working remotely, are your meetings just like tenfold, or are they about the same, or do you not have any at all, or what's going on over there? Because I swear, like, I was talking to a person I supervise, actually. we had a phone call on Tuesday. We usually have a meeting every other week, but if we don't have anything to share, then we just don't meet. But it's just a standing meeting, basically. And I didn't have anything really to update them on because we had already had a group meeting. We had a group meeting the week before, and then we had one yesterday. And so we're like, oh yeah, we'll just talk about that at the meeting. Like, there's nothing really new. And I was like, isn't it so weird? It's like I'm having meetings every single day with my supervisor, and I hardly ever checked in with them like this when we were even in person. Like, it's just amped up, and I'm like, I don't know why. Like, I get it, but it's like, really? Like, can I just do what I need to do? Instead of, like, spending this time, like, if I need to, I'll let you know. Like, I don't know why I have to change these things, but that's just me. And then the person I supervise was like, whoa, that is a lot. That's excessive. And I was like, you would think it might have calmed down now that everyone's kind of in their groove, but nope. Every day, every morning. But if you're used to a lot of meetings, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I am not. So the fact that I am now, and that's the one thing that's probably the more disruptive than just, well, I mean, being home, having to do work in a space that used to be like my space, no pun intended. If you're too young to know what my space is, then you're not missing out. But it was something. But yes, I'm waiting for some groceries to come. If you watched my last video, then you heard all about that. But what I'm really excited about is I got some new recipes. My supervisor and her husband sent me like a couple coffee cake recipes, and I love coffee cake. And they sent me a really nice raspberry scone recipe. So I put a bunch of stuff in my order to have the ingredients so I can cook. And I am going to take a leap and try to make a mirror cake. And if it comes out looking okay, I'm going to post it on my Instagram because I'm really excited because I really want to try to do it. And I was hoping to do it in the winter because then it would be cold and I wouldn't have to worry about it melting. But because it's not super hot yet, my kitchen's still pretty reasonably tempered. It's okay climate. It's not like gonna melt. If I keep the oven on, it does get warm in there, but it's not like a sauna yet, so I'm lucky. I think it's a good time because once summertime rolls around, my kitchen gets so hot when you have to cook. It would melt the mirror cake, and you have to have it like to a certain temperature in order for it not to get all ooey and gooey, but to actually lay over the cake in a nice smooth way. So I'm excited about that. I was hoping I would have been able to make it and bring it to work, but now it's just going to be my partner and I eating it, and that's totally fine with me. And I finally got a cake cover. This whole time of my adult life, I don't have a cake tray. I didn't necessarily need like a plate with like the glass dome that you stick on top because that's not portable, and most of the time when I bake something like that, I would bring it in to share with my coworkers. So I needed something with a lid and a handle So I got one of those like cake caddies and I bought it online. Should be here tomorrow. Yes. I think it's tomorrow or Saturday because Amazon kept bumping the date to a different day. I was actually surprised I was able to buy it because they said that they were prioritizing essentials, and a cake caddy is not an essential item, but I really wanted to have one for this cake. Whenever I get the ingredients, I'm gonna make it, and I will need to store it somehow. And usually the cakes I make were just in the sheet pan type, so I just put the lid over it from the metal sheet, like the 9x13 or whatever size pan it was, came with a lid, so that was fine. But since this is like gonna be more like a bundt cake, well, no. Am I gonna do bundt? I could, because I found a recipe to make marshmallow fondant. So I'm going to, something's tickling me. I'm going to do the cake. It's just going to be a box cake. Ice it or frost it, depending on who you're asking. And then I'm going to put the marshmallow fondant on top of that. So when it sits in the freezer and it gets all, well, no. Yes, sits in the freezer, gets cold. Then when I pour the mirror glaze on top, it will be nice and smooth for sure and look all pretty and stuff. So the mirror glaze is sweetened condensed milk and white chocolate melted with the milk and gelatin. And then that, and then your food coloring stuff, and you pour that all together, and then you pour it over your cake. And of course there's like, you know, a ratio of, I think it's like 8 ounces of white chocolate, a whole can, or no, 7 ounces of condensed milk, 8 or 10 or something like that of the chocolate, and then 2 packages of gelatin made by the ingredients, or made by the instructions, something like that. And then it has to be cooked together, and then it has to be 95 degrees Fahrenheit before you can pour it on top of a cake. And I think that's because it's not too hot where it's going to melt it, and it's not too cold where it's going to start to be cooled because the cake is cool, where it starts to kind of like freeze everything over before it's had a chance to cover everything. So I think that'll be fun, but I'm excited. I made the gnocchi a couple weeks ago. That was like one of the first home cooked first made from scratch baking type things that I made while I have been in my house. And I still want to make the regular potato one, and I got all the ingredients for that a couple Instacart orders ago. But now I want to do the scones, I want to do the coffee cake and the mirror cake, and then those will be like my special treats throughout the rest of the time I am here. But we'll see. But yes, has anybody out there started cooking? Well, maybe you're not already a cook. Have you started learning how to cook different things? Trying new things? Or baking things? What are you doing in the kitchen where you are? Or are you not a cook at all? You know, I've seen a surge in several things on my Instagram, but mainly my Facebook. So like my personal account on my Facebook, I've seen a surge of people promoting athleisure clothes, athletic clothes, like all the way like activewear, home gym stuff, like either gadgets, or I would say appliances, but like equipment or lessons or DIY home workout stuff, or home workout plans like Beachbody or that Shanti stuff. Random stuff about babies. But I don't think, if you're trying to have kids, I think right now is the time you don't want to try, because you don't want to have to be going to the hospital to get checked up, and you probably don't want to have your kid in an economic recession when you don't even know if your job's going to be able to keep you on long term. And if you have to pay for baby and hospital bills and their education, and if the economy is doing horribly when your kid is born, and like trying to bounce back from it's bad. I would say if you're trying to have kids, you might want to wait. And if you're already pregnant, congrats. Good luck. Stay safe. But yeah, baby stuff. Weirdly, baby stuff. A lot of stuff actually for like feminine care. So like instead of going to the store and buying your pads and tampons, like period underwear and Divvy cups, are like period, like menstrual cups, which I guess makes sense. And then you're not like having to go to the store to buy more things if you're in your house and can't travel. And home food, like not like Blue Apron, which is like a company here in the States. I don't know if it's everywhere, but like meals that you cook at home that are, you get all the ingredients delivered to your house, and all you have to do is follow the recipe and chop it up. Some are more in depth, some are like already chopped up for you, you just throw them all together. Some are already prepared, you just heat them up. Some surfaces you have to do all the prep yourself, but they come with all the ingredients, you just have to like put them all together. They're all different types, but I've seen a lot of those too. A lot of those. So if you are on social media beyond YouTube, well, actually, what kind of ads have I seen on YouTube? A lot of Lumi ads. They put a lot of money into that. I see Lumi ads almost every video. Which I guess if you're sitting inside, you probably realize how stinky you are. If you're forgetting to take a shower, or you're just like, now that I'm actually home, I smell weird. But Lumi ads, other like body care and skincare ads, and something else. There's something else I've been seeing a lot of. But yeah, but those are kind of like normal. But I feel like they have amped up a lot. But let me know, have you noticed a surge in ads that probably are trying to benefit from the current situation? I thought that was so interesting. So very interesting. Have seen, I guess, but the opposite of home cooking, I've seen ads for snack foods too coming up a lot, which is, that makes sense too. Like, one, you're home, you don't have the gym, so you're gonna work out at home. Two, you're probably eating a lot of snacks and realizing that you probably don't want to not be able to get out of your door frame when you're done with this situation. So then they're giving you workout stuff, comfy clothes. Hey, camera, I do not appreciate that. Well, once again, I was flapping my gums and didn't know that the camera cut out because I was looking down at my work and not up at you guys. So don't know where I left off, but that does give me a sign that this video was already 30 some, well, 29 minutes, 28 minutes, something like that long, so I will not add to that with whatever tangent I was on. But as you can see, we haven't made too much progress. We made some, but not a whole lot. And that's fine. That's totally fine. We're just gonna keep working on it. And maybe by the time I can walk freely amongst you, this whole panel will be done. But don't bet on it. Don't hold your breath. We'll see. We'll just take it one day at a time. But thank you. Thank you so much for listening, to watching if you did watch, and my apologies for wherever I cut out. I don't even know where I cut out, so I don't even know where to paraphrase what I was saying when I realized I was not recording anymore. So with that being said, I hope you're doing okay wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching and listening today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.